Hello everybody, I am Angry Bird. Welcome to a new Wargame cast. Today we are looking at GrumpySnark versus Joshie in the Hardened tournament currently going on the Wargame bootcamp. So GrumpySnark is on the left hand side in blue today. He is playing the Eurocore deck, and Joshie he's on the right hand side in red. He's playing a Eurocore deck. So there's going to be plenty of similar units on both sides. This is GrumpySnark's deck for the matchup. I actually had a look to compare decks, and they are very similar. I mean, Wargame, it's been around for so long. These guys have had so much time to perfect their decks. In terms of infantry, GrumpySnark actually has less infantry overall. I couldn't pick out exactly which infantry units he's got less of, but he's got less overall. You will see this in a moment. In terms of tanks, he has one more card of Leopard 2A1 tanks than Joshie, so I think Joshie invested in a Milan in the vehicles tab. The AA tab, or the support tab, which is effectively the AA tab pretty much. That's the same for both players, so no changes there. The recon tab's slightly different. The helo tab is the same, and I believe the plane tab actually is the same for both players. So the majority of difference is in kind of the infantry numbers and the tank numbers, really. So GrumpySnark is definitely going to want to engage in those tank-on-tank fights. This is Joshie's deck. He actually has an extra command unit. He's got the infantry commanders. Like I say, the infantry numbers is different. He has the reservists in there, which are very lackluster infantry units, but you get a hell of a lot of them. So there's where the extra units are in the infantry tab. He's got one less card of Leopard 2A1 tanks. I think he's got one less card in the recon tab as well, and he's invested in an AMX 10P Milan. Like I say, the helo and plane tabs are the same for both players. So let's get straight into the action, if I actually click play on the right screen. So, quick recap. GrumpySnark on the left-hand side in blue, playing a Eurocore deck, and Joshie, who's got a different name, but it is Joshie on the right-hand side in red, playing a Eurocore deck. So we start off with the Panther and Tiger combination for GrumpySnark, and I think Joshie kind of expects that with the F4 call-in. Perhaps going to try and take on those two planes, but yeah, he's not opted to take that approach. I think it's a pretty standard start for most Eurocore players to start with the Tiger and Panther. At least that's what I think. Smoke coming in to protect Joshie's units as he tries to move into the compounds in between Alpha and Delta. AMX 10 RCs fighting for both sides, but GrumpySnark has the advantage in numbers here, and a Leclerc heading down the road for both players. This is a really interesting engagement up in the northern part of this map. One of the MX-10 goes down there, and I think, well, GrumpySnark finally gets the smoke in to cover off his units. This is a big engagement. Leclerc, oh, AMX-10 goes down. Can the Leclerc take advantage on GrumpySnark's side? The Leclerc focusing down south after the smoke covers off GrumpySnark's unit, and Joshie deciding to back off there. We've got huge engagements in the buildings. What a big start. And the Peace Ryan goes in there, and I couldn't quite remember what unit went down. Weapons jam onto the Leclerc. He should be fine though, should just back away into the smoke. The VAB goes down in the center. What a start. And a really crucial start that may well tell the story of this entire matchup. Commandos Para move forward into the buildings, and Joshie definitely has control of the compounds. This is really a big problem for GrumpySnark at the start of this matchup. If Joshie maintains control in these compounds, he may well have full control over Alpha with any reinforcements that come in. I think GrumpySnark realises that. He's going to bring in some mortars with some infantry to try and take Alpha after the compound battle has been won by Joshie, who... Wow, huge action to start off. Let's just take a full look at the map. Down south, GrumpySnark takes command of Foxtrot. It's to be expected. Just a few recon units in there, and the same from Joshie. This is the big battle, and it rages over these compounds. They are so important on this match, on this map, sorry. So Joshie is going to be really pleased with himself picking up that victory. There are some ATGM Milans down here that could perhaps pick up a side shot against the Leclerc if it decides to move forward. Joshie continues with the smoke, and for now GrumpySnark's fully backed away with his Leclerc. So infantry units on the Panther gonna drop down here, and I assume they will eventually try to move up through the tree line into Alpha. Protel ordered in for Joshie. I don't know whether that was an original purchase or whether that was a reinforcement. Didn't quite see the action there. Resupply truck coming in to try and fix up these one-man commando paras. Carrying back the injured personnel, I'm sure, because they're about to be fixed up. Terrible camera work here. Oh, look at the mountains in the background. Damn, I love Wargame. So the compounds have been emptied, and looks like GrumpySnark has seen what's happening. He's trying to snipe some of those units, but those men will all get fixed up. In fact, I think one of the Commandos Para units actually went down there. I'm pretty sure there was 2 Commandos Paras. Yeah, and finally Joshie decides to back away with those units. The Tiger coming back here to reload those Schneb rockets. Some death-defying maneuvers to come in for the land. And the Leclerc being fixed up via the MD Jupiter. You don't really see this too often in Steel Division 2. I know I'm focusing on a lot of the resupplies, but you don't really see that in Steel Division 2 unless it's just pretty much a super heavy in World War II standards. We're talking like King Tiger or IS-2. You don't really tend to see the supply trucks in to fix up units. It's more to resupply artillery units. So yeah, it's kind of good to focus on this aspect of the game. I'm sure a lot of Wargame casters that are hardened Wargame casters probably don't focus on that too much, but I think it is a pretty important kind of strategic part of the game. GrumpySnark continues the attempt to kind of mortar this position. The smoke is in place, so he doesn't know the units have backed off there. And after the compound has been secured by Joshie, both players now look to take the battle into Alpha. Neither player really picking up a... Well, actually, no. I was about to say neither player picking up a command unit, but both players have reinforced their kind of rear command points. The Fuchs coming in for GrumpySnark to capture Foxtrot, and the same unit for Joshie to capture Charlie. So the Leclerc is fixed up, it's looking sharp, it's pushing forwards once again, and may well catch the AMX 13s off guard here, pushing forwards with the infantry in the units, and not as big a kill as in Steel Division 2, as you would lose the infantry units in those transports. But GrumpySnark unloads the chasseurs, they make their way forwards, and he does have some pretty decent amount of infantry here. He's got some nice supporting units with the Marder 2 and the Tiger with the Schneb rockets. I don't think it was that one, may have been Panther down here engaging with the Schneb rockets. Leclerc versus Leclerc, big shot in there for GrumpySnark. Second big shot One more, and the Leclerc from Joshie Poo is going to go down, but it backs off into the smoke. Just managed to keep itself alive, but big victory for GrumpySnark there, taking away a huge unit from Joshie Poo's front line. The Peace Rhino comes in there, but the Crow Towel, I think there was a Crow Towel around. It does actually go down there. Crow Towel is here. So yeah, it is still alive. Legions dealt with the chasseurs pretty damn well though. And yeah, GrumpySnark's infantry, they didn't manage to make it all the way into the compounds. Ooh, Panther, I believe that was a Panther, goes down there to the Crow Towel. It's pushing forwards again, looking for the Tiger kill. Will it get it? One hit, one more hit, and it's going down, but the Crow Towel is out of missiles. So GrumpySnark gets away with that Tiger intact. AMX firing down the road at those chasseurs. I mean, man, those infantry units are taking some huge losses trying to assault these compounds. And the AMX goes down though to a Milan shot from the south in Delta. And the Legions, they backed away outside of the compound. The reservists are in there. Perhaps GrumpySnark can continue this assault. Mortars coming in, trying to hit the Milans that fired off against that AMX. Leclerc pushing forwards once again, but a shot from the Erics, I think that's how you say it, in the Legion, really has to worry that Leclerc. Another shot. It's down to half health. He's got to back away, but the smoke is there, and it should get away with it fine. So those Legion units, French Foreign Legion units being used to great effect here, should easily take care of the understrength chasseurs, and Joshie Poo maintains control of this compound in a massively hard fought match so far. The Leclerc is fixed up once again, second time now, and GrumpySnark's Leclerc is going to have to back off and wait for the Jupiter to head all the way back to the fob, pick up supply, and come back again once more. Terrible driving there from that Jupiter. So, I think GrumpySnark has strengthened these compounds between Delta and Foxtrot with the two chasseurs units, which I think is a good call there, just to add a little bit of strength to his southern flank. But I think both players are just going to continue the fight with the compounds between Alpha and Delta until somebody gets such an advantage that they can then afford the command units to come in. The Leclerc this time pushing around the north edge of these compounds, and commandos, French Foreign Legion units, pushing across the open ground with the Remar 85 here. Heading into the forest in Alpha, and get into that 50-50 line. Joshie Poo looks like he's definitely the stronger, I think, of the two opponents at the moment. I expect, yeah, here we go. Second Leclerc on the way. And it was only a matter of time, should I say, before one of these two players ordered in their second super heavy. So the Leclerc comes in for Joshie Poo, and it makes it 2 against 1. Although I think as soon as GrumpySnark sees that second Leclerc, I think he's going to order in a second one and even up the odds. I'd be very surprised if he doesn't. So the Leclerc coming around the northern edge, taking out an AMX 1390. And dispatches the second one with ease. Marder 2 about to go down. Yeah, the Leclerc shot comes in before the Milan 2 missile can hit. The reinforcing Leclerc that came in is panicked by some of the artillery, but nothing major. And the Legion of Doom. I've been watching those wrestling bio videos. The French Foreign Legion should be able to hold off in the face of the Remar. They hop into the building, but there's enough here to hold on for Joshie Poo. And those compounds, just such an important part of this map. The Milan does take down a unit moving forward for Joshie Poo there. Can't quite remember exactly what that unit was. Legion crossing the open ground there in Alpha and into the forest. Going to take out the Rima, and the Commandos Para on the way as well. So Joshie Poo really starting to establish control in Alpha. And I think it's only a matter of time now with the second Leclerc call-in that he... There's the second Leclerc order from GrumpySnark. And like I was about to say, I think it's only a matter of time before Joshie Poo orders the command unit to come in here and capture Alpha. So we got some, I reckon these are Milan infantry units in the VAB, probably to take up positions in this building here or this little compound here, to offer that ATGM opportunity to GrumpySnark in this kind of position. For now though, there's the command unit being ordered in, the Panther. For now though, Joshie Poo definitely in control up north, and I think he's going to be very, very happy with this matchup so far. Let's focus in on the Panther coming in here. Those important command units in the back of that Panther, finally on their way into the battlefield. Definitely going to add to the command and control that Joshie Poo has so far in this matchup. Second Leclerc heading in for GrumpySnark, and his other Leclerc is fixed up. I'm sure about to push forward for another engagement. Joshie Poo though definitely taken position in the northern part of the map, bringing both Leclercs up into the Alpha kind of area. At least yep, there it is. And I think that's to avoid the ATGM missiles in the south. I think it's seen that the Milan in the south did take out the AMX recon unit that was in this heavy forest. That might allow GrumpySnark to push forward with his Commandos Para, get some eyes on the units in the rear for Joshie Poo. But I'm sure he's focused elsewhere for now, may not even have seen that kill. So it looks like the Leclerc has been found, or at least some of the units hiding in that tree line have been spotted, because the mortar units in the rear are now raining down fire on that position. Mortar units for GrumpySnark trying to hit the Commandos Para in the tree lines, and a Peace Rhine heading in. Oh, it does take down one of the Leclercs, but immediately goes down right after the other one. And GrumpySnark's going to be happy with that pickup. I think he'll be happy. I mean, he lost his plane, but one Leclerc down there. He has Leclerc advantage, and I think he's going to be pretty happy with that. Chasseurs again moving over open ground. They're going to get dispatched pretty easily. I think the southern Leclerc moving up, trying to get eyes on. Big hit. Well, it's going to take a number of hits from those Leclercs to take the opposite number down. Smoke pouring in to cover the advance of GrumpySnark's unit. I think he's going to be very pleased with that so far. Let me see. Does the... oh, I guess not. Apologies, I will come back. Apologies for that interruption there. And we will continue. So the Legion using the Eric's ATGMs, and the AMX unit goes down there pretty damn easily. The AMX 13 with the final kill. Panther comes in, does destroy the Chasseurs, and Raphael C was providing combat air patrol in the rear. But GrumpySnark does make some movements down south, like he said he might do so. AMX 10 RCs on the push forwards. I didn't quite see exactly what that unit was, but I think it went down. Probably an AMX of... was it a VAB? I think it was the VAB that brought the Commandos Para in. Finally Joshie Poo realises the threat and does order in units into the south. He definitely has enough there, especially with the Leopard 2A1 at the front of this column pushing forwards. The Peace Rhine heads in. Weapon jam onto the Leclerc, won't get the kill there, and the Ronin 3 might finish this off. The Crotow's in there as well. Will that Peace Ryan get out? Does, just. And the Raphael C was out of fuel and had to return to base. Leopard 2 command unit coming in here for GrumpySnark. He has the bigger of the 2 tank command units, if I remember right, and I wonder whether he's going into Delta with that unit. I mean, yeah, it must be, because he can't get into Alpha right now. So he's probably going to take position down here in the corner of Delta, perhaps back here as well, behind the tree line. So the weapons jam Leclerc is going to have to back away. I imagine this Jupiter's coming down to try and get to it to fix that unit up. But it was actually exposing himself there. The AMX 13s do push forward. Commando Paras here are able to fire on some of them, and the reservists remaining should go down to those Commandos Para. But the MX-10 RC from the north is getting involved. More reservists down in the MX-13 VTT in the south. Marder 2 supporting along with the Leopard 2A1 and Panzer Grenadiers that came in with the Marder 2. Tiger coming down south as well with a Black Panzer Gepard A1 and a number of Panthers here. Peace Ryan goes in up north. Does get shot down. Not exactly sure what that went after. May have been the Crotal. Raphael C down south as well, now providing that combat air patrol once again. Players only have, I think it's one of these Raphael Cs each, so pretty important unit. Panther pushes forwards onto the enemy units, but the Ronin 3 picks up the kill there. So Joshie has managed to get into this forest with his infantry and supporting weapons, and the Leopard 2A1 behind, definitely the big, well, no, the Leclerc does take up position, so I think the Leclerc is a more powerful unit than the Leopard 2. 21 frontal armor and 22 AP power versus, yeah, the Leopard 2A1 18 AP and only 16 frontal armor. So just reminding myself there, just to make sure I was right in the commentary. But yeah, the Leclerc is the heavier of the 2 tanks. Rima 85 waltz them their way up to the forest in between Foxtrot and Charlie. But the reservists, I mean, they spot the unit, and the Marder 2 there, easily able to take it down with the autocannon fire from that Rheinmetall 503. So Delta has been captured by the Leopard 2, currently smoked off, but it is still well, yeah, that means that it is still 0-0 after the initial capture from Joshie up north with the infantry command units. That Leopard 2 is going to be pretty damn important, because as long as he has Delta, he can hold that 0-0. But here comes Joshie with the Leopard 1 command in to neutralise that Delta capture and provide the +1 point advantage for Joshie. So the big battle in Delta, I think if GrumpySnark gives up on Alpha, which I think he probably will do, I think it's going to be the battle in Delta that really determines the victor of this matchup between these 2 players. Really tight start. I think Joshie has definitely come off with the advantage so far, but GrumpySnark by no means not out of this game in any way, shape or form. The Milan, I'm assuming that's, yep, the Milan F2 units fire off but miss the attack on the AMX-13. The chasseurs are dropped off. The 13 VTTs back away. The ATGM Milan F3 down here going to fire off against the AMX-10 RC. And the VAB pushing forwards, trying to get eyes onto the Milan units. Perhaps fire off some quick shots with the Browning. Nope, get destroyed. So the Leopard 2A1 supporting the Marder 2 there, taking huge shots at these chasseur units. And the Leclerc pushing forwards here, firing off against the reservists. There is a Panzer Grenadier here with the Panzerfaust 44. I believe that's the name of that unit. I'm just rocking off unit. Oh, gets a shot in against the Leclerc. It is going to be able to survive a few of these RPG or ATGM shots. Another shot in there, doesn't quite get the hit there, and the Panzergrens will go down. Double Leclerc on the south now. So GrumpySnark definitely focusing on this southern point between Charlie and Foxtrot. So the Leclercs definitely outnumber the units. Well, the Leopard 2A1 gets a shot in against the Marder 2, takes that one down. The Chasseurs will take control of the forest between Foxtrot and Charlie. The Commandos Para going up to pick up those recon eyes or recon optics onto Charlie. Looks like a Leclerc and a Leopard 2A1 coming down south for Joshie Poo. Will we see more? Oh, a Leclerc down here in the south as well. Did not see that unit at first. So he does have a, with the second Leclerc coming in here, he does have the even numbers in the tank engagement. The Leopard 2A1, actually the two Leopard 2A1s should give him the advantage. Tiger taken down by the Crotal. AMX-13 VTT breaches the edge of that forest, pushing forward, trying to see what's ahead of him, scouting out. The Leopard 2A1 fires, misses, but backs off here for Joshie. So the AMX-13 VTT, the threat, Joshie Poo does not want to engage. Leclerc reveals its position, takes out that AMX-13 though. And the Commandos Para take up recon position in the edge of this tree line here, providing those important optics onto the front of Joshie Poo's lines. I really love the way GrumpySnark has switched focus to this southern position. Joshie Poo equalising the capturing Delta does give him the advantage though. Raphael C providing combat air patrol for the F4F Peace Rhine. I think that was to come in to try and hit the Leclerc in the south. Is it going to go in for any kind of kills? Do have a no. The Crotal has been backed away. The Crotal's been backed away, so we do have two Crotals down in the south, and they are not radar, and they are pretty good units because they are non-radar. I think that's what you'd say. So no need for seed, but neither player has seed airplanes because for that fact, I guess. GrumpySnark continues to kind of arty this little tree line here, and I think that's quite important to keep this tree line under pressure so that ATGM troops can't kind of take positions on the edge of this tree line, fire off into the opposite enemy positions. Smoke coming down here. Are we going to see a movement forward? Leclerc going to attack the AMX-13, again revealing its position there. Backs away back into the smoke. The MX does have a sight line right now, but it won't really be able to damage it. I'm assuming it's a sight onto the AMX-13 VTT there. It does have infantry units in those vehicles, so Joshie Poo does need to be aware of that. And is this the yeah, the M270 LRM taking fire there, the rocket artillery onto these positions. Enemy LRM coming in from Joshie Poo. I assume that's going to be onto this forest edge. Yeah, there is a Crotal in here, or a couple of Crotals. No, just one. That could go down. Now Joshie Poo moves forwards, but just reservists in those AMX-13s. I don't think they're going to make up much ground. The two Leclercs push forward under the cover of smoke. More rocket artillery firing in onto that forest edge. Leclercs are going to face off against each other. Big hit from Joshie Poo. No kill. One of the units goes down south. I think that was a Commandos Para down there. I didn't quite see exactly what it is. Oh, I like the position of the Milan units down here, taking up position in the southern flanking position, perhaps getting the side shots with those Milan ATGMs. And has one of the Leclerc gone down? No, it's backed all the way back. And for now, I think Joshie Poo definitely has held off the attack from GrumpySnark. The clerk all the way back in the forest, refueling, resupplying, repairing, rearming, still taking shots at the MX-13s though. So, it's just an intense fight really down here between these two units. Players, should I say, sorry. And neither side really getting the big advantages. We do have a couple of sneaky chasseurs going around the northern edge for GrumpySnark, although I don't really think they're going to get too much of an advantage up there. So we will stray from that focus once again. Still, 2 Leclercs each for either player. We have a Puma 330 coming down south, but the AMX-10 Milan is able to take that down with its autocannon. Once again, the M270 firing off its rockets and the Peace Rhine in the back, trying to get a shot onto the Leclercs of Joshie Poo. Really, I like the use of the Raphael covering the Peace Rhine at the back, just waiting, biding his time, trying to get the shot off against the Leclercs. And perhaps once one of those Leclercs goes down, we could see the other player launch the attack with all their might. Very intense matchup right now. But Joshie Poo, while all this has been going on, obviously he's equalised the Delta advantage. He's got a significant ticket lead now, 200 points to GrumpySnark, and there's only 10 minutes left on the clock. So I think GrumpySnark really needs to make a big push. Even if he captures Charlie, he can only equalise the point advantage, so he's got to do so much work here to get the win. Very intense fight in terms of territory, but Joshie Poo has held the +1 advantage for quite a while now, and I guess a big victory in Charlie could allow GrumpySnark to then push up, get the kill on the Leopard 1 command unit in Delta, and then perhaps keep going up into Alpha. I think that's the only way he could really pick up the victory right now. Joshie Poo, he just needs to bide his time, hold on. He's got 10 minutes left. All he has to do is just hold on now, and he will pick up the victory if he does so. Tiger 2 taking shots with the Hot 2 missiles down there onto the Milan. Does get the kill. Perhaps opens up an opportunity for GrumpySnark. I think there was a third Leclerc ordered in to the south. Yep, 3 Leclercs here now. Or GrumpySnark. Rocket artillery of the M270 firing off here. Raphael C still on combat air patrol. Joshie Poo pushing forward right now. The Leclercs so firing off against everything that's in front of them. One of them goes down to the enemy Leclerc there. Good kill from Joshie Poo. Will he capitalise on this push? There's a Crow Tower right on the front lines. If that thing fires off, that could get snapshot taken out, and would be a fairly decent kill. But yeah, perhaps the infantry advantage of spamming out those reservists has led to Joshie Poo able to put forward more presence on the ground. Looks like he is going to push forward to try and take back the tree lines. The Marder 2 comes in to clear up the reservists ahead of them. Chasseurs engaging the Rima. The Chasseurs will lose that, but the Rima backing off. They are in open ground. Peace Rhine still overhead, waiting, but will it run out of time in this battle? Okay, the AMX-13s do now charge forward. Puma coming down south, taken out by the Crow Towers. Okay, the AMXs charge for the tree line. One of them taken down. They are still reservists. Finally unloading. But do manage to take out the chasseurs. They were heavily down on men. Leopard 2A1's pushing forwards here. The clerks coming back to the front line. Reservists, they do have the LWAC. So can still do some damage, although very minor to the Leclerc, to the frontal armour of that beast. Marder 2s. Oof. You would not want to be under that weight of fire. Man. Peace Ryan coming in. 2 shots, but doesn't get the kill on the Leclercs. And Joshie Poo using the group command there to split the missiles from the Peace Rhine. Clerks do take out one of the Leopard 2A1s there. Legion's coming in with the Erics, the French Foreign Legion. One of the Marder 2s has gone down though to the Leopards. Big fight there down in the south. I think this is the last ditch attempt. The units that GrumpySnark had sneaking around the chasseurs in the north are taken out by the Rima of Joshie Poo. So that little flank was not successful. 6 minutes left on the clock. Joshie Poo extending his ticket point lead and surely will get the victory. But a very intense fight, and I'm really enjoying the combat between these two players. I think they're fairly evenly matched. Certainly a very tight matchup between the Leclerc engagements. But Joshie Poo looks like he's got the advantage here. The Panther Grenadiers though, no sorry, the Tiger here launching off those Hot 2 missiles, trying to get a kill onto the Leclerc. We could do with a Peace Rhine right now, but nothing out here. A couple of two Peace Rhines in. Oh, Joshie boy spotted the Leopard 2 command tank in the rear. Both Peace Rhines go down. Raphael does manage to pick up at least one of them, but big kill onto the Leopard 2 command tank, and that gives Joshie Poo the +2 advantage and pretty much knocks out GrumpySnark from this match. This actual match was the decider between these two players. It was a best of 3 in this round of the Hardened tournament, and both players were equal, 1 win apiece. This was the 3rd game and the decider between both players, and I'm pretty certain at this point in the matchup that Joshie Poo is going to win it and proceed through in the Hardened tournament to the next round. Fantastic match. I'm pretty sure it's over now. 4 minutes left, but GrumpySnark does have a second Leopard 2 command tank, so he's not giving up right now. I think he ordered this in to try and sneak into Charlie, but he wasn't quite able to do so. So he is able to move that one up north and recap Delta. Look at Joshie Poo trying to use the VAP units. Immediately taken down by their counterparts. Close range shot by the Rima 85 onto the Leopard 2A1s, immediately taken down. GrumpySnark only has 1 Leclerc left down south, but I think the same can be said of Joshie Poo. So both players have lost Leclercs, although I think GrumpySnark has lost 2 compared to Joshie Poo's only losing 1. The reservists will go down in the trees. I think it's time for a last ditch attempt by GrumpySnark. Pushing down the AMX 10 RCs. Wow, immediately going to get taken out by the Leclerc and the Leopard 2A1. Crotout goes down. Leclerc on Leclerc. Who's going to win? Looks like Joshie Poo has the advantage right now. Leopard 2A1's not getting involved though, and I think that was a bit of a mistake there. It took them a while to get involved, and now the Leclercs had to back off, and the Leopard 2A1s are getting involved, but the enemy Leopard and Leclerc can easily take shots. Peace Ryan comes in for the kill, does go down though to the Raphael. Will we see a Raphael come in here from GrumpySnark? Yes, we do. Raphael on Raphael. GrumpySnark picks up the kill there. There's only one Raphael on each player's side, so GrumpySnark gets that advantage, but it's too late in the game really for him to take advantage of that fact. We took our eyes off, yeah, the Leclerc did go down for Joshie Poo, but he's got 4 Leopard 2A1s down here in the south, and the 2 Leopards of GrumpySnark went down in the tree line. The Erics from the French Foreign Legion are firing off, along with the Panzerfaust from the Panzergrenadier. The Panthers getting involved with those Schneeb rockets. One man left in the Panzergrenadier squad, although there is a counterpart a bit further down. Again, the reservist push coming from Joshie Poo, but he isn't really going to... Actually, he is going to gain the tree line from the looks of it. He is going to gain the tree line. I think it all depends on these Panzergrens down here in the south. They're under fire from the Leopard 2A1s. There are many more reservists to the Panzergrens, although reinforcing Panzergrens coming in with the Marder 2, and they should hold the position, no problems. F4 coming in here to try and take out the Tiger. Interesting. Not much AA on the side. Ooh, enemy F4 coming in from Joshie Boy. Will that F4 get out alive? It's going to stray over the Flak Panzer up north, and the combined firepower from the Flak Panzer and the F4 from Joshie, who does take down GrumpySnark's unit. The Crotau, very far forward, although I guess you have to do that to protect those Leopards from the Peace Rhine. And apart from that though, these 2 Crotaus, the only units down here. GrumpySnark bringing in his Raphael, taking a shot against the F4. Will it get the kill? Ooh, does get a hit, but no kill there. Going to take a second missile from the Raphael C. And no, both players ordering the planes back. Less than a minute left on the clock. Joshie Poo has survived the onslaught in the south and will pick up the victory. What a fantastic match. I really enjoyed this. Very tight, very competitive match between these 2 players. But Joshie Poo comes off the victor and will proceed into the next round of the tournament, and I've really enjoyed casting this match. The interplay between both players, trying to protect those Leclercs with the smoke initially, with the fight over the compound between Alpha and Delta, really tight match, and then proceeding down into the south with the fight between Charlie and Foxtrot. Again, really fantastic play between those 2 players. I really enjoyed that matchup. But it is Joshie Poo that becomes the victor. 3,000 kills to 3,600 kills to 3,300 losses, there or thereabouts. 40 minutes hits the time limit on Mudfight. But yes, congratulations to Joshie Poo, commiserations to GrumpySnark, and I look forward to casting games from both of these players, hopefully in the future, because I really did enjoy that match. Let me know your comments down below, give me some feedback, let me know your thoughts on the Wargame cast so far. I'll continue casting this hardened tournament, and I'm sure there's going to be plenty more Wargame casts in the future. Looking forward to the South African DLC coming down and casting some of the new units. And yeah, who knows what Eugen have in store at this point. Thanks very much for watching. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. I am Angry Birds. I will see you next time.